Welcome to the story. Don't forget to like, subscribe and support me. Jack stood at the edge of the dwindling forest that once thrived around his village of Briarwood. The trees, now skeletal remnants of their former glory, whispered tales of forgotten times when magic flowed freely and resources were abundant. Today, the land lay parched and barren, a stark contrast to the vibrant life it once held. The sun beat down mercilessly, casting long shadows that stretched like fingers reaching out to seize what little remained. His home, a modest collection of timber huts, bore the scars of recent hardships. Crops had failed for the third consecutive season, and the well had nearly run dry. Desperation hung in the air, thick and palpable, as families huddled together in the communal hall, seeking solace and solutions. Jack, however, was restless. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily upon his shoulders, and he knew that waiting for a miracle was no longer an option. Briarwood had always relied on the Eternal City, a sprawling metropolis encased within a formidable magical barrier that shimmered like a mirage on the horizon. The city was a beacon of prosperity, its streets teeming with humans and other races engaged in commerce and governance. Outside its walls, though, life was a constant struggle. The barrier not only protected the city but also maintained a strict control over essential resources, making other races dependent on human ingenuity and trade. Jack's gaze fixed on the barrier, a translucent veil pulsating with arcane energy. It was both a marvel and a curse, a testament to human achievement and their unwavering desire for dominance. He had heard the story as whispers of secrets hidden within the city's glittering facade, of power that could alter the very fabric of existence. If he could just find a way in, perhaps there lay the answers his village so desperately needed. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Jack made his decision. He would embark on a journey to the Eternal City, to uncover its secrets and find a way to save Briarwood. It was a path fraught with danger and uncertainty, but the alternative via watching his home crumble was unbearable. The following morning, Jack prepared for his departure. He packed his belongings with care, ensuring he had enough provisions for the arduous trek ahead. His father, a stern but kind-hearted man, placed a hand on his shoulder. "Be cautious, son," he advised. "The city is not as welcoming as it once was. Many have tried and failed." Jack nodded, determination burning in his eyes. "I have to try, father, there's no other way." With a final farewell, Jack set out, the familiar trails of Briarwood giving way to the uncharted wilderness beyond. Days turned into weeks as he navigated treacherous terrains, evading wild creatures and enduring harsh weather. His resolve never wavered, fueled by the hope of a better future for his people. One evening, as Jack camped beneath the canopy of ancient oaks, he encountered a figure cloaked in shadows. The stranger moved with silent grace, eyes gleaming with intelligence and secrets. "You seek the Eternal City," the figure stated, voice barely above a whisper. Jack tensed, reaching for the dagger at his belt. "Who are you?" "I am Eileen," the stranger replied, stepping into the faint light of the campfire. "An elf on a mission much like yours." Relief and curiosity washed over Jack. "An elf? I didn't expect to meet anyone else out here." Eileen smiled, a hint of melancholy in her expression. "The world beyond the barrier is harsh, even for us. But I have my reasons for being here, and perhaps we share a common goal." Jack gestured for her to sit. "Tell me everything you know about the city." As the night deepened, Eileen recounted tales of the Eternal City's inner workings. She spoke of Isabella, the enigmatic ruler who maintained the barrier's strength through ancient magic. Under her reign, the city had flourished, but not without cost. Other races were kept at bay, their resources siphoned to sustain human dominance. Eileen's words painted a picture of a society built on control and exploitation, a revelation that only strengthened Jack's resolve. "We can't do this alone," Eileen admitted. "There are others who wish to see the city open and resources shared equitably. The resistance is growing, but we need more hands." Jack nodded, feeling the weight of their shared mission. Then we must join forces, for Briarwood and for everyone else suffering outside. Their alliance was solidified under the cloak of darkness, two determined souls united by a common cause. Together, they journeyed further, their path leading them to the hidden enclave of the dwarven engineer, Thor. Thor was a master craftsman, his expertise in both technology and magic unparalleled among his kin. Convincing him to assist was no small feat, but Eileen's persuasion and Jack's unwavering determination won him over. Thor's workshop was a marvel of engineering, filled with intricate devices and enchanted artifacts. His craftsmanship was a blend of dwarven tradition and innovative design, a testament to his ingenuity. "You want to breach the barrier?" Thor mused, examining a complex contraption that hummed with energy. "It's no easy task. The magic that sustains it is ancient and potent. But with the right combination of technology and sorcery, it might be possible." Jack felt a surge of hope. "Then let's get to work." Time is not on our side. Days turned into weeks as the trio delved into their mission. Eileen's espionage skills proved invaluable, allowing them to gather intelligence from within the city without raising suspicion. She moved through the Eternal City like a shadow, her elden grace and cunning making her an adept spy. Meanwhile, Thor dedicated himself to understanding the barrier's magical mechanisms, experimenting with various devices and spells to find a weakness. Jack, though less versed in magic, contributed his resourcefulness and leadership. Together, they formed a formidable team, each complementing the other's strengths. As they worked, their bond deepened, a blend of camaraderie and shared purpose driving them forward. One evening, as they pored over ancient tomes and schematics, Eileen made a startling discovery. "The barrier isn't just a defensive measure," she revealed, her eyes alight with revelation. "It's a tool of suppression." Isabella has been manipulating resources, ensuring humans remain in control while other races are kept dependent and weakened. Jack clenched his fists. "That's why the city thrives while the outside withers. We have to expose this." Thor nodded, adjusting his goggles. "If we can disrupt the barrier's magic, we can level the playing field. But we'll need precise timing and flawless execution." As plans took shape, the internal strife within the Eternal City began to surface. Isabella, once revered as a visionary leader, faced growing dissent from marginalized groups and disillusioned humans alike. Whispers of rebellion echoed through the grand halls, and Eileen's intelligence indicated that support for the resistance was swelling. One night, under the cover of darkness, Jack and Eileen infiltrated a secret meeting of the resistance. The room buzzed with tension, voices hushed yet fervent. Leaders from various races stood united, their diverse backgrounds a testament to the breadth of discontent. "We have to act now," one human voice declared. "Isabella's grip on the city won't loosen itself." Eileen stepped forward, addressing the assembly. "We've uncovered the truth behind the barrier. It's more than just protection, it's control. With your support and our combined efforts, we can dismantle it and bring true equality to all." A murmur of agreement swept through the room, the seeds of rebellion firmly planted. Jack felt a surge of determination, knowing that their mission had ignited a spark that could change everything. Back in their workshop, the trio finalized their strategy. Thor had devised a device capable of disrupting the barrier's magic, but its activation required precise synchronization and immense power. They would need to breach the city's defenses, disable the barrier from within, and confront Isabella directly. The night of the assault arrived, cloaked in uncertainty and anticipation. Jack, Eileen, and Thor, along with a contingent of the resistance, moved silently towards the barrier's weak points, identified through weeks of reconnaissance. The air crackled with tension as they approached, the magical barrier shimmering ominously ahead. Thor activated his device, the machinery whirring to life with a blend of technology and enchantment. "Now," he whispered, the device emitting a low hum that resonated through the air. With a sudden surge, the barrier flickered, its stability wavering under the strain. The resistance pressed forward, overcoming the initial defenses and making their way into the heart of the Eternal City. Chaos erupted as alarms blared and guards scrambled to contain the intruders. In the midst of the turmoil, Jack found himself face to face with Isabella. She stood tall and imposing, her presence commanding and unyielding. "You think you can tear down everything we've built?" she challenged, her voice laced with both anger and desperation. Jack squared his shoulders, meeting her gaze unwaveringly. "It's not about tearing down it's about rebuilding, creating a city where all races can thrive, not just humans." Isabella's eyes flickered with a mixture of emotions. "You don't understand the complexities of governance and protection. Without control, chaos would reign." Before Jack could respond, a deafening explosion rocked the city. The device had been sabotaged. Thor had sacrificed himself to ensure its success. His final act of heroism propelling the resistance forward. Flames engulfed the surroundings as the barrier's magic unraveled, plunging the Eternal City into disarray. Eileen rushed to Jack's side, her elven grace marred by grief. "Thor's gone," she whispered, her voice breaking. "But his legacy lives on." Fueled by their loss, Jack and the resistance surged forward, their determination unshaken. The final confrontation with Isabella was inevitable. As they navigated the chaotic streets, remnants of the city's grandeur juxtaposed with the destruction wrought by their assault, Jack felt the weight of their mission pressing upon him. In the Grand Citadel, Isabella awaited them, surrounded by her remaining loyalists. The air was thick with magic, the remnants of the barrier's power still lingering. "This ends now," she declared, summoning her own arcane forces to defend Tyrant. The ensuing battle was a clash of wills and magic, light and shadow intertwining in a deadly dance. Jack fought with every ounce of strength, driven by the memory of his village and the sacrifices made by his comrades. Eileen moved with lethal precision, her elven prowess turning the tide in their favor. Isabella, though formidable, was no match for the unified force of the resistance. In a final, desperate move, she unleashed a torrent of dark magic, but Jack intercepted her, their powers colliding in a brilliant explosion of light. The resulting shock wave shattered the citadel's defenses, and Isabella fell, her reign brought to a tumultuous end. As silence settled over the city, the true extent of the betrayal and manipulation became clear. Isabella had siphoned resources from the outside world, maintaining the city's opulence while others suffered. The revelation sent ripples through the remaining inhabitants, hastening the city's transformation. With the barrier now breached, the gates of the Eternal City swung open, welcoming the outside world for the first time in decades. The streets buzzed with activity as humans, elves, dwarves, and other races mingled, their interactions once restricted now flourishing freely. The days of dependency and fear were over, replaced by a new era of cooperation and shared prosperity. Jack stood at the heart of the city, watching as old divisions dissolved and new alliances formed. Eileen approached, a smile gracing her features despite the sorrow that still lingered. "We did it," she said softly. Thor's legacy lived on, his contributions immortalized in the rebuilt infrastructure and the equitable distribution of resources. The Eternal City was no longer a bastion of human dominance but a melting pot of diverse cultures and talents, each race contributing to the collective good. As the sun set on the transformed city, Jack felt a profound sense of accomplishment. He had set out to save his village, but in the process, he had helped reshape an entire society. The challenges ahead were still many, but with unity and understanding, the possibilities were endless. Returning to Briarwood, Jack was greeted with jubilation and relief. The knowledge and resources he brought back from the Eternal City sparked a renaissance in his homeland. Crops flourished once more, wells were restored, and the community thrived. The journey had changed him, instilling a deeper sense of purpose and a commitment to fostering harmony among all races. In the years that followed, The Eternal City became a symbol of what could be achieved through collaboration and mutual respect. Governing councils composed of representatives from each race ensured that power was balanced and resources were managed fairly. The barriers, both magical and societal, that once divided them were dismantled, replaced by bridges of understanding and cooperation. Jack's legacy extended beyond his return to Briarwood. He became a respected leader and advocate for unity, traveling between communities to share his experiences and inspire others to pursue peace and prosperity together. Eileen, now a prominent figure in the city's governance, worked tirelessly to maintain the delicate balance that has been achieved. As for Isabella, her downfall served as a cautionary tale of the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of empathy and inclusion. Her story was remembered not just for her ambition but also for the lessons learned from her reign, guiding future leaders to prioritize the well-being of all inhabitants over personal gain. The Eternal City, once a symbol of isolation and control, had been reborn as a thriving hub of diverse cultures and shared aspirations. Its streets, once guarded and divided, now echoed with the harmonious blend of different languages, traditions, and innovations. The city's transformation stood as a testament to the strength found in unity and the enduring spirit of those who dared to challenge the status quo. Jack often found himself reflecting on his journey, the sacrifices made, and the bonds forged along the way. He understood that true leadership isn't about wielding power but about empowering others, fostering environments where everyone could contribute and thrive. His experiences had taught him the value of resilience, compassion, and the unbreakable bonds formed in the face of adversity. Under the collective stewardship of its diverse inhabitants, the Eternal City continued to grow and evolve. New technologies emerged from the fusion of human ingenuity and elven magic, while dwarven engineering provided the foundation for sustainable infrastructure. Together, they built a society that honored the strengths of each race, ensuring that no one was left behind or marginalized. As the years passed, tales of the city's rebirth spread far and wide, inspiring other communities to seek harmony and collaboration. Jack's story became a beacon of hope, illustrating that even the most entrenched divisions could be overcome with determination, unity, and a shared vision for a better future. In the twilight of his years, Jack stood once more at the city's heart, now a sprawling metropolis of interconnected districts and vibrant communities. The barriers that once isolated and oppressed had been replaced by bridges and pathways, both physical and metaphorical, symbolizing the connections that bound them all together. Looking around, Jack felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had set out to save his village, but in doing so, he had helped create a legacy of peace and prosperity that would endure for generations. The Eternal City was no longer a fortress of the past but a shining example of what could be achieved when people worked together, transcending differences to build a brighter, unified future. Jack often found himself reflecting on his journey, the sacrifices made, and the bonds forged along the way. He understood that true leadership isn't about wielding power but about empowering others, fostering environments where everyone could contribute and thrive. His experiences had taught him the value of resilience, compassion, and the unbreakable bonds formed in the face of adversity. Under the collective stewardship of its diverse inhabitants, the Eternal City continued to grow and evolve. New technologies emerged from the fusion of human ingenuity and elven magic, while dwarven engineering provided the foundation for sustainable infrastructure. Together, they built a society that honored the strengths of each race, ensuring that no one was left behind or marginalized. One crisp autumn morning, Jack walked through the bustling central marketplace, now a vibrant tapestry of cultures and traditions. Stalls overflowed with goods from every corner of the realm: exquisite elven fabrics, intricately crafted dwarven tools, and innovative human inventions. The air was filled with a symphony of languages and the aromas of diverse cuisines, a testament to the harmonious coexistence that had replaced years of tension and distrust. As he navigated the lively streets, Jack was greeted by familiar faces. Eileen, now a respected member of the city council, waved from a nearby pavilion where she was overseeing the integration of elven agricultural techniques into the city's farming systems. Her presence was a constant reminder of the progress they had made and the future they were building together. Thor's legacy was evident in every corner of the city. His designs had revolutionized the infrastructure, making it both resilient and environmentally friendly. Buildings stood tall and majestic, their foundations reinforced with dwarven craftsmanship and enchanted with protective spells to withstand any threat. Public spaces were adorned with sculptures and monuments honoring those who had fought for the city's liberation, including Thor himself. Every year, a grand festival was held in his honor, celebrating innovation and unity. Jack paused by a fountain, its waters shimmering with enchantments that reflected the changing seasons. Children of all races played together, their laughter echoing through the plaza. It was a scene that once seemed impossible, a world where cooperation and mutual respect reigned supreme. Jack's heart swelled with pride and gratitude, knowing that their collective efforts had transformed the Eternal City into a beacon of hope and prosperity. Despite the city's transformation, challenges remained. The scars of the past lingered, and rebuilding trust took time. Jack often engaged in dialogues with representatives from various communities, addressing concerns and ensuring that the new governance system remained fair and inclusive. Transparency and accountability were the pillars upon which the new society was built, preventing the rise of another tyrant like Isabella. Eileen worked tirelessly to bridge gaps between different cultures, organizing forums and cultural exchanges that fostered understanding and appreciation. Her efforts were instrumental in healing old wounds and strengthening the bonds between races. She and Jack frequently collaborated on initiatives aimed at promoting education and resource sharing, ensuring that no one would ever again face the hardships that had once plagued their world. One evening, as the sun set over the skyline, painting the sky in hues of pink and gold, Jack stood atop one of the city's many bridges, watching as people from all walks of life crossed over to connect with one another. The bridges were more than just physical structures, they symbolized the connections and relationships that held the city together. Each bridge was unique, reflecting the artistic styles and cultural influences of the communities it served. As he gazed out over the city, Jack thought about his journey. He had set out with a single purpose: to save his village. Along the way, he had discovered allies, faced immense challenges, and made sacrifices that had shaped not only his destiny but that of the entire realm. His story had become intertwined with that of the Eternal City, a testament to what could be achieved when individuals came together for a common good. The night was alive with festivities as the annual celebration of Unity approached. Preparations were in full swing, with decorations adorning every street and public space. The highlight of the celebration was always the unveiling of a new monument, a tribute to the ever-evolving spirit of collaboration and harmony. Jack found himself drawn to the city's grand amphitheater, where a large crowd had gathered in anticipation. Eileen joined him, her eyes reflecting the excitement in the air. "It's incredible to see how far we've come," she remarked, her voice filled with pride. "It is," Jack agreed, his gaze fixed on the stage. "And there's still so much more we can achieve." As the festivities began, speeches were made by leaders from each race, highlighting the progress they had made and the challenges that still lay ahead. The atmosphere was one of optimism and determination, a collective resolve to continue building a better future. When it was time for the monument's unveiling, a hush fell over the crowd. Jack watched as the city's master architects and artisans took their places, their collaborative efforts resulting in a breathtaking structure that stood as a symbol of unity. The monument featured elements from each race's cultural heritage, seamlessly blending them into a harmonious whole. As the cloth covering the monument was lifted, gasps of awe rippled through the audience. The structure depicted intertwined hands, each belonging to a different race, reaching towards a radiant light that symbolized hope and prosperity. Inscribed at the base were the words, Together we rise. Eileen stepped forward, her voice strong and clear. This monument represents the essence of what we have built together. It stands as a reminder that our strength lies in our diversity and our willingness to work together for the common good. Jack felt a lump form in his throat as he listened to her words. The monument was more than just stone and magic. It was a testament to their shared journey and the bright future they had forged. He knew that their work was far from over, but in that moment, he allowed himself to feel a profound sense of accomplishment and hope. As the celebration continued into the night, the city's skyline illuminated with magical displays and fireworks, reflecting the unity and joy of its inhabitants. Jack walked through the streets, surrounded by friends and allies, each one contributing to the vibrant tapestry of the Eternal City. In the days that followed, Jack focused on strengthening the ties between the Eternal City and other communities. He traveled to neighboring regions, sharing the story of their transformation and encouraging others to adopt similar principles of cooperation and mutual respect. His efforts were met with enthusiasm and inspired many to embark on their own journeys towards unity and prosperity. Back in the city, Eileen spearheaded educational programs aimed at teaching future generations the importance of diversity and collaboration. Schools became melting pots of cultures, where children learn not only about their own heritage but also about the traditions and histories of others. This emphasis on education ensured that the lessons learned from their past struggles would be carried forward, fostering a society built on understanding and empathy. Thor's innovations continued to influence the city's development long after his sacrifice. His designs for sustainable energy sources and efficient resource management systems became the backbone of the Eternal City's infrastructure. Engineers and magicians worked side by side, pushing the boundaries of what was possible and ensuring that the city remained a model of progress and sustainability. Isabella's legacy, though marred by her oppressive rule, served as a cautionary tale. Stories of her reign were taught in schools and discussed in public forums, emphasizing the importance of accountability and the dangers of unchecked power. Her downfall underscored the necessity of inclusive governance and the need to prioritize the well-being of all inhabitants over personal ambition. One quiet afternoon, Jack found himself in a tranquil garden, a space dedicated to reflection and remembrance. The garden was adorned with flowers from every race, each bloom representing the unique contributions of the diverse communities. He sat beneath a blossoming tree, contemplating the journey that had brought him here. Eileen joined him, her presence a comforting reminder of the bonds they had forged. "It's peaceful here," she said softly. "A perfect place to think." Jack nodded, a smile playing on his lips. "It's hard to believe how much has changed. Sometimes it still feels surreal." Eileen placed a hand on his shoulder. "Change is never easy, but we've proven that it's possible when we work together. Our story isn't just about survival, it's about thriving together." As they sat in silence, the sun casting dappled shadows through the leaves, Jack felt a deep sense of contentment. The Eternal City had become more than just a place, it was a symbol of what could be achieved through unity, resilience, and unwavering determination. The challenges they had faced were etched into the very fabric of the city, serving as both a reminder of their past and a foundation for their future. Months turned into years, and the Eternal City continued to flourish. Innovations in magic and technology led to advancements that benefited all races, from enchanted transportation systems that made travel effortless to sustainable farming methods that ensured no community would ever face scarcity again. The city's libraries became repositories of knowledge, where scholars from different backgrounds collaborated on groundbreaking research and shared their wisdom. Jack's influence extended beyond the city's borders as he became a respected figure in regional politics and diplomacy. His ability to navigate complex negotiations and his unwavering commitment to fairness made him an invaluable asset in resolving conflicts and fostering alliances. His reputation as a leader who valued every voice earned him the trust and admiration of people far and wide. Eileen, too, found her place as a key advisor in the city's governance. Her keen intellect and strategic mind were instrumental in shaping policies that promoted equality and sustainability. She worked closely with representatives from each race, ensuring that decisions were made with everyone's interests in mind. Her dedication to the cause inspired others to take up leadership roles, further strengthening the city's foundation. One spring morning, as cherry blossoms filled the air with their sweet fragrance, Jack received an invitation to speak at a grand symposium held in his honor. The event was a celebration of his contributions to the Eternal City and an opportunity to share his insights with a wider audience. Honored and humbled, he accepted, eager to inspire others to continue the work they had begun. Standing before a captivated audience, Jack shared the story of their journey from the struggles of Briarwood to the liberation and transformation of the Eternal City. He spoke of the importance of unity, the strength found in diversity, and the enduring power of hope and determination. His words resonated deeply, leaving a lasting impact on all who listened. As the symposium concluded, Jack felt a renewed sense of purpose. He realized that their work was part of a larger movement, one that extended beyond the Eternal City and touched countless lives across the realm. The seeds they had planted were blossoming, creating ripples of change that promised a brighter future for all. In the twilight of his years, Jack continued to play a pivotal role in shaping the city's destiny. He mentored young leaders, sharing his experiences and guiding them in their quests for progress and harmony. His legacy was not just in the structures and systems they had built, but in the hearts and minds of the people he had inspired. One evening, as he walked through the city's Central Park, now a sprawling expanse of greenery and communal spaces, Jack reflected on the journey that had defined his life. The city, once a symbol of isolation and control, had been reborn as a testament to the enduring spirit of collaboration and mutual respect. The challenges they had overcome served as a foundation for a society built on fairness, innovation, and shared prosperity. As he gazed up at the night sky, twinkling with stars that seemed to mirror the city's lights, Jack felt a profound sense of fulfillment. He had set out to save his village, but in doing so, he had helped create a legacy that would endure for generations. The Eternal City was no longer just a place, it was a beacon of hope, a shining example of what could be achieved when people worked together, transcending differences to build a brighter, unified future. And so, as the years continued to pass, the story of the Eternal City and the heroes who had forged its transformation became legend. It was a story told and retold, inspiring countless others to pursue unity, understanding, and progress. Jack's name became synonymous with leadership and compassion, his journey a guiding light for those who dare to dream of a better world. The city thrived, a living embodiment of their collective dreams and aspirations. Its streets were filled with laughter, collaboration, and the endless pursuit of knowledge and innovation. The Eternal City stood as a monument to what could be achieved when people came together, bound by a shared vision and unwavering determination. As Jack's life drew to a close, he found peace in knowing that he had played a part in something greater than himself. The bonds he had formed, the lives he had touched, and the legacy he had helped create would continue to shape the world long after he was gone. His story, intertwined with that of the Eternal City, would inspire future generations to uphold the values of unity, diversity, and mutual respect. In the end, Jack's journey was not just about overcoming adversity or challenging tyranny, it was about the enduring power of collaboration and the belief that, together, anything was possible. The Eternal City stood as a testament to this truth, a shining beacon of hope and prosperity that would guide the realm towards a future filled with endless possibilities.